I, 21F, knitted a blanket for a friend, 22F, and she sold it without me knowing. Throwaway BCI use my main ACCT for my artwork and knit projects. I knitted a blanket with a very distinguishable design. It was my friend's fav anime character, and gave it as a gift. This was about a year ago. Today, I went to a classmate's flat to finish an art project we were working on for a class. Confusingly, I see the blanket on his bed. I know this is the blanket I made. BCI spent like 7 months with it, and the design is so specific. BC. It's my own pattern. ANW. I still ask him where he got it, and he said he bought it off of FB Marketplace. My jaw literally drops and I can feel the tears forming in my eyes. I was really upset. BC. Not only did she give it away like it was nothing, but she also found a way to profit from my own hard work. I talked to my friend about this and she admitted to it and apologized. She then told me it was out of desperation. BC. Her dog needed emergency surgery. I felt bad for her hearing that, but it was also hard for me to set aside my own frustrations. I'm at a loss of words to describe my emotions right now, and I can't begin to process how to go about from this situation. What would you guys do if you were in my shoes? How would you feel? I just need advice or some sort of validation if ever. I would feel hurt. Your feelings are valid regardless of her reasoning behind why she sold it. This was a thoughtful gift that took you a lot of time, and that shouldn't be diminished. If there is any comfort in knowing it went to a good home, to someone who is enjoying it and displaying it proudly, I would focus on that. I've had to give away things that are sentimental, but I try to make sure they go to a good second home where they will be appreciated. Maybe she did that in this case. If the sick dog is true, forgive her if you want, but never knit for her again. If you can't forgive her, it's okay to move on. Honestly, I'd give my friend a pass. Look at this way. Your gift was to save her dog in a time of need. It's fair to have your own emotional attachment to this object, but imagine the emotional attachment she has to her dog as a comparison. Not to say one is more than the other. Just her feeling towards her dog is a good reflection of what you feel about this blanket. Anyway, you can also try to explain the situation to the new owner, since you know him, and offer to buy it back from the guy. If he agrees, then just keep it. No harm, no foul. Yes, a gift is a gift. A gift once given becomes the property of the recipient to dispose of as she sees fit. That said, there is something different about a handmade gift that took 7 months to make. I would be extremely hurt if someone sold that, and likely end the friendship over it. If they place such a low value on my time, skill, creativity and thoughtfulness, I would not bestow any more of it or my presence on them. Here, though, the situation may be different in that your friend sold your work to save the life of her pet. Have you ever had a pet? We call them fur babies for a reason. I would sell heirlooms and gnaw off my right arm to save the life of mine, and am still haunted by the death of my first dog some 25 years ago. So depending on your history and present interactions with your friend, here is one way to reframe what happened. You made your friend an extremely thoughtful, very beautiful piece of functional art. She loved it. Your friend's pet got sick. Treatment cost more money than your friend had. Without immediate treatment in the form of emergency surgery, her pet might die. Your friend looked around her apartment and tried to find something to sell that could bring in the amount she needed. Her eye stopped at the blanket you made. Beautiful and unique, therefore likely also worth money. Your friend sells your gift. Because of your gift, she is able to save her pet. Your gift is bought by someone who appreciates it and uses it, and who you even personally know. Only you can decide whether your friend was uncaring or desperate. But by my count, your gift now has given great pleasure to 2 owners. and also saved the life of a fur baby, bringing joy to two owners and continued life to a beloved pet? That's pretty damned good work. As an artist and as a good person, your gift has now repeatedly made the world a better place, and remains valued, used and displayed by its present owner. Pat yourself on the back. You deserve it. If you are such good friends, would you have heard of her dog needing emergency surgery? Or her being in desperate need? If her story is true, I would expect some gratitude from her. At least you literally helped to save the life of her dog. Either way, she has a chance to act like a friend now. If it was out of desperation, she can try to make up for it and show in or her ways that she does care about you. If she doesn't, then that shows that the callousness is after all representative of how she feels about your friendship. If you lose the friendship, I would still, as other posters recommended, think about the good karma you have created out there in the world. Whether by saving the dog or creatively connecting with new audiences. Aw, man, that sucks. My mom knits and crafts, and the rugs and blankets she made me, and made my wife and kids, will be precious to me forever. I also don't know complete financial desperation, or the lengths I would go to if I needed money to save a pet or child's life. But truthfully, selling one of Mom's blankets would not be anywhere near the lowest I would go. You have every right to be hurt, but your friend had to make an awful decision, was caught out and apologized. If you never wanted to make her something special again, I am sure she would understand. But I don't think you should be carrying this around as some indication of your talent or friendship. Your blanket was worth enough to save the life of her pet, and it went to a second owner that realized the worth of the work he was seeing and purchased a beautifully handmade rug to be displayed as the artist you intended. It was just a terrible situation all round, with some happy ending. I'm a crafter of many years. I see you are young. There will be people in your life worth gifting your art to. And people more the gift equivalent of a Walmart lavender bath set. Sadly, your friend has shown herself to be the latter. Don't gift your art to the undeserving. TBH, I think you would have heard about a surgery if you're close friends, but that's your mystery to solve. If this were me, I'd quietly take this person off my handmade list. It happens. I'm a knitter. Have been for most of my life. If it helps. All knitters have at least a few stories like this. Take this as a very emotionally expensive lesson. Accept that your friend isn't knit worthy, and then choose what to do with the relationship from there. Once you give someone a gift, even if it's your own art, it's not really up to you what they do with it. Sure, we want people to cherish our hard work, but most people have absolutely no clue what goes into handcrafts. They just don't. I once made a cashmere hat for someone who proceeded to line her dog's bed with it. She got pretty pissed at me when I refused to make anything for her again. Not my problem. Just because she didn't value my work didn't mean it wasn't valuable. As a rule, I only knit for people who I know understand how much work I put into it. My husband, my kids, my ILs, my parents. Your feelings are valid, but so is her reasoning. It sounds like she was seriously financially desperate. I think some people struggle to understand the overwhelming desperation of being strapped for cash. My advice is to not freak out about this or make it about you. It makes sense. You're shocked and hurt, but ultimately it's something you should not make your friend's problem. Don't harp on it. You made her this blanket of her favorite anime character. I doubt she ideally wanted to have to sell it. She probably was desperate. This situation might be a good opportunity for growth. So I knit, and I'm also a pet owner. I think you have the right to be hurt. But if the thing with her dog was a life or death situation, which is what I'm assuming it was if the dog needed emergency surgery, then I can't blame her for selling it. Once you give someone a gift, it's theirs to do with as they please. I'm sure it wasn't an easy decision for your friend to make. I would feel hurt as well. Yeah, it was a gift and all. But a lot of times people don't realize how much time goes into making stuff like that. Do you think it would have felt a little better if your friend told you her plans and why she needed to sell it before? Once you give a gift, it's not yours to dictate what they do with it. Yes, I understand you're hurt, but she said she had to make a decision about the things in her life she valued more or less than her dog's surgery. You can't make that decision for her. Such is life. All you can do is try to discern if it meant enough to her despite having made that decision. I would sell my husband for my child. It doesn't mean I don't value my husband, nor that he wouldn't even agree with the decision. You spent 7 months on it and she sold it with no regards to any of it. She doesn't value your friendship like you valued hers. If her dog was sick, you would have heard about it. If she had needed the money, she should have asked if she could sell it or borrow money. It sounds like a lie to me though. I'd never do anything for her again if I were you, and treat her like the superficial friend that she is. Once you give someone a gift, what they do with it is out of your control. You can be hurt and upset, but ultimately that was their property when they sold it. This is one of the things in life you can't control, and it will be better for your own mental health to let it go. I wouldn't be friends with her anymore if I'm being honest. I would be extremely hurt about this too. Assuming your friend's story is true, it may have been a difficult decision for them to make, too. However, if I was in that situation and a close friend of mine had spent hours on making a gift like that for me, there are many other things I would try to sell first instead of that. I like to knit and crochet too, and I've learned the hard way that some people frankly don't deserve these kinds of gifts. But you'll find people that do. Like some of the others have said. I would make a mental note to take her off of that list and try to move forward. Gave my friend a pair of handmade earrings as a birthday gift, and she regifted them as a Christmas present to someone else. Upside down face, it really is a sucky feeling. As a crochet and sometimes knitting person myself, I really understand your feelings. You have spent 7 months on the blanket and put a lot of work and love in it. However, I also love animals and can understand the length someone can go to in order to save a pet. I would talk to her. Let her know how this has truly made you feel. Also, if the friendship is a good one, forgive her. Let her know that if something like this happens, she can always tell you, and if you are capable, you will always try to help. But if the friendship isn't worth it, let it go. The friendship, I mean. And don't let this be a reason to never gift anyone a beautiful self-made gift again. It's in a way proof you made a beautiful blanket. Someone paid money for it. You and your knitting needles rock. As a knitter, I feel this in my soul. Sounds like someone never gets another hand-knit present.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicuricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.